I had a bad feeling about today. And that isn't just me dropping in a random Star Wars quote. That is a genuine discomfort I had for this game. And it wasn't just because of when I saw the starting lineup, which was bad enough, but that news of Bodin going down injured this week really took the wind out of my sails a little bit. It's just such a devastating blow. He was looking the real deal up front with Matty Taylor, and it's just such an innocuous injury and so frustrating. But then obviously today we saw the team sheet and we saw how many players Oxford United are missing, and you're just thinking, oh my God, this has just got the potential to be a bad afternoon. But Oxford found a way. It certainly wasn't pretty. It certainly wasn't enjoyable to watch, but Oxford found a way to win, and a massive 3 points in the end. That could be for this season, as it's another win, another step closer to securing a playoff spot. It finished Shrewsbury Town 1, Oxford United 2. The Shrews don't score many goals, but they got one of the best defences in the league. But I don't really know why they don't score many goals. Ryan Bowman, I thought, was a very good striker. I thought he would have done a lot better for them. But just overall, maybe you can see it when we saw how they played today. But Oxford's starting lineup, I think, shocked all of Oxfordshire and those living outside of Oxfordshire. When you saw Eastwood in goal, when you saw Seddon as a centre-back, when you saw John Messinio playing, it really was quite a surprise. Going forward, it didn't look like there'd be any problems, but that you worried that defensive line would be under constant pressure and whether they could hold up for it. Thankfully, we had McNally, who continues to be a delight to watch and had another fantastic game at the back for Oxford United. But it was one where you were just nervous about it, especially because, you didn't want to slip up in a game where, let's be honest, we would have looked at it on paper and thought it's one we should be winning. But, Shrewsbury came out and they sensed blood in the water, if you like. They pressed and they pushed Oxford back, and Oxford really struggled all the way through the game, really. They never really got any fluidity in their passing. They never really got the wide players in. The wing-backs rarely could get forward. And it was a bit of a struggle, and we relied on a couple of moments of quality. Well, one in particular, which happened after 11 minutes, and it came on an Oxford United break, a quick turnover of play, and Herbie Kane got a bit of space. And his through ball to Gavin Whyte was excellent, was first class, a perfect ball through. Of course, Gavin Whyte has used up his quota of goals last week, so all he could do was hit the keeper, but the rebound fell to the main man. It fell to Matty Taylor. Easy tap in for him, probably about the only thing he did in the game from an offensive point of view, but who cares about that? That is 51 goals for Oxford United now, and quite a lot for this season, but I don't know quite how many. Maybe you can tell me down below. Simon Eastwood made a brilliant save, to be fair to him, in the first half. Don't overlook how important that was in the grand scheme of things. But other than a bit of Shrewsbury pressure and a bit of huff and puff, they didn't really create too many chances, although they did look dangerous from set pieces. And generally, Oxford went in at half-time thinking, well, it's not great, but at least we're winning. Second half was even more of a chore. Shrewsbury completely dominated us, pushed us back, and Oxford are just in one of those games away from home where we just couldn't get a foot on the ball. No one could seem to keep the ball. It was just constant wave after attack. Shrewsbury were getting in down the sides, really exposing the wing backs in Williams and Sykes, and really kind of finding a lot of space. And of course, Seddon is public enemy number one. So every time he made the slightest hint of a mistake, it was seized upon. And it felt inevitable that Shrewsbury would get back into this game, and they duly did. A move again down the side. It was actually a really good goal by Shrewsbury. Oxford will say it was avoidable, but a really good move, passing move. They got in behind the lines. They got to the byline. Good ball across to Bowman, who was unmarked. Tap-in finish, but a really, really good goal. And at that point, you just thought, this is just heading for a Shrewsbury win. There's no way you couldn't see Oxford getting out of this tailspin. And really, Shrewsbury should have been 2-1. A very, very similar move where Oxford kind of stopped and the ball went across to Bowman again in a very similar position. But this time, I don't know what his reason was. Maybe he couldn't sort his feet out, but instead of putting a tap in past Simon Eastwood, he blazed it over the bar. And maybe that was just the slight little turning point where Oxford just thought maybe we can get something out of this game. And I don't know how much of an impact his substitution really had, but Marcus McGuane came on and he just ever so slightly calmed things down in the midfield to the point where he was actually just able to take advantage of the space that Shrewsbury were giving us and be a bit more composed on the ball. And that's how Oxford's goal really came about. It came about with Oxford just keeping the ball through midfield. And then they finally did get a ball in behind to Ryan Williams. He was brought down. Shrewsbury are going to say he wasn't. Shrewsbury are going to be pissed off at the officials all afternoon, I'm going to tell you. Steve Cotterill was raging at the full-time whistle. But he was adjudged to have fouled. From an Oxford point of view, of course, it was the most blatant penalty ever. And that gave us the chance. That seemingly we weren't going to be able to create from open play. And it came to Brannagan. And Mr. Brannagan does not miss penalties, does he? After his 4 he got against Gillingham, he very calmly tucked this one away despite the time wasting, despite the beach balls on the pitch. He tucked it away down the middle. And that was all she wrote for this one. There were no more chances for Shrewsbury. They huffed and puffed, but Oxford did a very good job of seeing that game out from that point onwards. And wow, a massive 3 points, which would have seen, if you weren't involved in the game and you just saw the result and you didn't know the circumstances, just think that was a pretty cut and dry away win. But that was a fight and a battle and a scrap. And somehow Oxford came away with 3 points. And with the starting lineup that Robinson was forced to play, I mean, look at the players that are missing in this Oxford United side lineup. Jack Stevens, Sam Long, Brown. Then you've got the likes of, obviously, Henry. Then you've got the likes of Marcus Brown. 2 Browns are injured. Then you've got the likes of Baldock as well. And there's a number of other ones in there too that I just can't remember off the top of my head now. But I think it's 10 players out all in total, through injury, through illness. So he was a really backs to the wall job for Robinson. And I guess above anything else, you can say he's got a lot of spirit in this Oxford United side. He's got a lot of... They really fight for each other, really kind of like dig in and somehow get the job done. Really, really proud win, I would say, for Carl Robinson. And a lot of us won't remember this probably at the end of the season. It will be lost to history very, very quickly. But I think he'll remember this win and the players will remember this win quite a lot, and they'll remember it for a long, long time. So although I was disappointed with the way Oxford United played going forward in this game, I thought we were, defensively, we'd have problems, but I thought in attack we were really poor and we never really got going. The win is all that matters at this stage of the season, and we got that win. And I think all the end of the day, you can just say, we should be proud of this club. We should be proud of these players. We should be proud of this manager. An exciting season is coming to the head now. We've got some really big home games coming up against the likes of Ipswich, MK Dons and Sunderland. We've given ourselves a great platform to head into the playoffs, as I've already said. Leave your comments down below. If you like the video, hit like. Shrewsbury fans, leave your comments down below. I'm sure you'll be a bit annoyed at why you didn't win today. But a great win for Oxford United. Thanks once again for watching. I'll be back very soon.